Sefian FM. Today we have one called, the tactic itself says 4-2-2 triple. However, if you look on the Steam Workshop where I got this from, it says 4-2-2-2 win triple with Dortmund, 106 goals scored. So I'm definitely interested to see how many we've scored here. Now, it is from someone called X the Bumbel, Bumbel. There's not a description written into the Steam Workshop. However, there is a YouTube video. There's plenty of images, so there's plenty to take a look at, a couple of comments. So plenty to look at and figure out how to actually take care of this tactic. Now, again, as usual, this is just a flat sim for me. I've gone on vacation for the entire season. I've left everything from transfers to training to shouts on the pitch to my assistant coaches and managers and everything. The computer's basically taking care of everything. So that is definitely going to be a different story if you take control of this, whichever team you are. But you can take a look at a little bit of how the tactic might perform, even if you take control of it. We start out with a sweeper keeper in support, wing backs on the left and right in support, ball playing defenders in defend, Segundo Volantes in support in the midfield, inverted wingers in attack on both sides, and then advanced forward in attack up front on both sides. Balanced mentality in possession, attacking with a standard, approach play, pass into space, overlapping the left and right, focus play down the left and right. Passing directness is shorter, tempo is higher, mixed crosses, work them all in the box and run at defense. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute to the center back and fullbacks, roll it out, and then out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a lower defensive line, trigger press much more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, and stop the crosses. As always, pause where you want to see it. I tend to run through these pretty quickly. However, really well, actually. All three teams in 4th, 5th, and 6th. Now, obviously, it's going to depend on how all the other teams do during the season in the league. But Newcastle at 73 points is a fantastic run for them. Tottenham at 69, kind of a higher side of on the average. It is high for them. Wolves, 68 is pretty nice for them as well. So 2 of them in Europa spots, 1 in Champions League spots, doing nicely. Newcastle's schedule looks like this. August is fantastic. September is not too bad itself. You get your first loss against Manchester City in October. That is pretty nice. The runs of green are just amazing here. But Carabao Cup semi-final, first leg and second leg, you're out against Liverpool, 0-5 on aggregate. FA Cup quarters, FA Cup semis, FA Cup final against Manchester City, 4-1. You do a great job here, winning a fantastic trophy to boot. Nice start through the season until your first Premier League loss against Arsenal. October's not great. Bit of a bad spell, but you kind of pick it up there. You are into the Carabao Cup, 2-3 against Leeds. You're into the Champions League round of 16. You continue on to the quarterfinals. You do lose out 1-3 against Barcelona. That's a tough one. Close match, though. 0-7 quarterfinal against Newcastle, loss in the FA Cup, though. Ouch. August, minus the Carabao Cup second round win over Leicester, but still a fantastic October. Pick that up, though. Carabao Cup third round, 1-1 in penalties against Chelsea, loss. Unfortunately, you're out there. FA Cup, though, you're continuing on until Newcastle just steamrolls you 3-4 in the semifinals. A fantastic season. You could definitely pick up some of these losses. Manchester United 1-3, Chelsea 0-1. You could at least make them draws, I would imagine, if not get the win outright. You're not losing by a lot. 0-2, 0-2 to Liverpool and Man City. So this looks like a tactic to really try out. Bringing in any money, however, you are spending a fair bit. Evan Nielsen from Porto for 42.5. Joel Robles, Tony Weston, Horta from Braga for 26 million, and then Liam Morrison from Bayern 2. 3.8 million. You do 13.75. Sekou Koité from Salzburg, Carlos Alvarez from Sevilla, and Gabriel Barbosa. We know he's a fantastic player. 7.5. So bringing in something and actually bringing in some players. Escaio, Paulinho, both from Sporting, Crespo from Fenerbahce, and Tormena from Braga. So you're actually spending money finally. Newcastle, appearance-wise, 47 plus 1, 47, 46. Nice jobs from Botman, Trippier, and Pope. Clearly, they have less games at this point in the stage, but next season will be a completely different story. Isaac with only 27 goals, kind of a downturn from him. 22 for Wilson. Evan Nielsen was 17. Assist-wise, 22, 20, and 10. Trippier, St. Maximin doing a fantastic job. Isaac, not too bad himself. Some greens here. 762 for Isaac. Evan Nielsen was 744. Wow. Not doing all that much better appearance-wise. 51 for Kane, Basuma, and Son. 43 plus 8, 42 plus 8. Goals-wise, 31 from Kane. Not too bad. I mean, a good tally. Don't get me wrong. 19, Son. Richard Lisa was 17. Assists-wise, 15, 13, 12. Very closely together. Porro, Kulusevski, and Richard Lisa. And then average rating, 723 for Kane is not too bad, but kind of on the average. To Wolves, and it all falls apart, but this time around it really didn't. Jose Sa, Collins, and Nunez all with some appearances there. Goals wise, 22 for Jimenez. Collins and Kalajic with 16, 13. Again, not high averages this time around, or not high tallies this time around, but assist wise, 22 for Sarabia, 17 for Neto. Not bad. Some greens there too. 7-3 for Jimenez. I mean, overall the stats don't really tell me that they did a fantastic job, but they really did. Defensively, very good in attack. Attacking is always where it's going to be. I'm always going to say that. You can see non-expected penalty goals are very nicely done. Goals per game, nicely done. Shots per game, nicely done. General performance is not too bad. Defensively, yeah, you're having some issues here and there, but the attacking is so much better than the defense. It's why you get so high in the tables. And then if you look at Tottenham, pretty much similar, a little slightly down on numbers though. And then Wolves, yeah, I mean, about the same actually as Tottenham. You are not quite as high as Newcastle had, but defensively, yeah, extremely shaky defensively, very good in attack, of course. Of course. Wolves, Newcastle, and Tottenham all in the tops of the most goals category. Fewest shots against Tottenham, Newcastle, and Wolves, so they're keeping it away from the net as well. Possession. Dribbles made is up there with all three teams making it as well. So, I mean, most tackles won, nobody. Best pass completion, nobody. Most shots for all three teams. So you do have that attacking piece to it. And if we look at the individual stats, most goals, Kane, Jimenez, and Isaac all up there. 15, though, for Isaac. Most assists, Sarabia and Trippier. That's where you want to see them. Neto, Maximin, and Kulusevski as well. Player of the Match awards, Isaac with 5. That is really on the average mark. Jose Sa with possession. So you got some in the other categories. Most tackles, one. Trippier is the only one with the defensive record. Most key passes, Sarabia and Trippier. Now that's where you always see generally. Sarabia and Trippier are the best in the league at the key passes. Most shots, Isaac and Kane up there as well. Overall, how did this do for our three teams? 106 goals out of that Dortmund team. So we're going to look at Newcastle and Tottenham just because Wolves tend to be on the side anyway. But Tottenham with Champions League gives them a few more games. Newcastle, though, on top. So if we take a look at the Premier League stats, which we'll take a look at later. Most goals, Newcastle with 84, Tottenham with 80. Tottenham not even in the list. Go to the screen for the FA Cup because the previous one doesn't have Tottenham anywhere in the list until way down here. So Tottenham with 9, Newcastle with 28. Carabao Cup, Newcastle with 16, Tottenham with 9. Then Champions League for Tottenham, 26 goals. What does that tally? Well, in the end, Newcastle have 128 goals, Tottenham on the 124 and an extra competition. So it did really well in the goals department. As clear as can be, attacking is the way to go. Pretty good. I mean, Wolves and Newcastle, it's a job. Tottenham, about average, a little higher than average, but all three teams getting into European spots is pretty nice. But that is it for me, Sefian FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.